Fire and ambulance services are almost immediately overwhelmed. They lack the resources to handle a catastrophe of this scale. A few minutes after the blast, radioactive fallout begins to descend. The affected downwind area is large and highly populated. About 1 million people live and work there. As the fallout rains down, citizens who survived the blast grow anxious about exposure to radiation. Many of them did not know how much radiation the blast has generated or where the radiation might be found. The worried well begin to fill local hospitals, along with those who have been injured in the blast or exposed to dangerous levels of radiation. Hospitals and clinics throughout the city quickly run out of capacity. The state governor makes a disaster declaration, dispatches his Homeland Security Secretary to the scene, and mobilizes state assets. Among the first state groups to respond are National Guard units tasked with responding to radiological and nuclear events, including Severny Enhanced Response Force Packages, or SERVPs, and weapons of mass destruction civil support teams. Teams from neighboring states also respond under the State Emergency Management Assistance Compact. Upon request from the governor, the president also makes a disaster declaration. Civilian federal agencies begin rushing in to fill the gaps. The Department of Homeland Security is designated the primary agency in charge of the response, and all the emergency support functions mobilize. The FBI dispatches its evidence response team, since there is a high likelihood that the event is terrorist-related. The Defense Coordinating Officer and element relocate to the incident area. The Federal Coordinating Officer, in conjunction with the Defense Coordinating Officer, makes a request in the form of a mission assignment to the Department of Defense. The Northcom Situational Assessment Team deploys to the area to perform on-site analysis of the situation and coordinate with state and federal assets. They recommend deployment of a task force headquarters. The Northcom commander tasks Army North to deploy a joint task force in response to the execute order published by the Secretary of Defense. The JTF